I wanted to share with you some things about vocal comping. Here we have the lead vocal to a song called Shelling It Out from my upcoming album. Logic Pro 10, like most DAWs, allows you to record several takes onto one track and then pick and choose the best parts to be compiled into one cohesive track. I use this feature regularly when recording vocals, bass, and guitar, but it can be used for any audio recording. I almost always start with the most recent take, the very last one from the recording session, because it's often the best overall. This is because by that point in the session, I'm warmed up, my voice is broken in, I'm singing well, and I'm less likely to forget the words. I listen through the track, and without being too picky, I stop when I hear something I don't like. I highlight whichever word, phrase, or sentence I want to replace, and begin to audition from other takes. I'll play that particular section on repeat if I need more time to decide. Sometimes I prefer to edit with a reverb, delay, or other effect on the track. There's nothing wrong with making mix decisions during the recording or editing phase if it enhances the song, but generally I avoid plugins during this process so that I can hear each and every flaw. This is also why I edit the vocals at a level just slightly higher than where I think they'll end up in the mix. If I can get the track to a point where the inevitable flaws are unnoticeable at a decibel or two higher than where they'll end up, I can be sure no one will hear them once they're slightly more buried in the final mix. In this case, I chose a modest delay, one not entirely masking, but close to how I imagine it in the final mix.
Walking by, I was minding my own business. Bottom of your cup and a box as a home.
To make the track cohesive, I like to break the takes between words or wherever there's silence. Occasionally, I have no choice but to break in the middle of a word, but I'm always careful to make sure it's unnoticeable in the mix. As I go, I get a feel for which takes are the overall best, and I'll refer to these few takes when I run into a problematic section or to make quick decisions where I have several good takes of a particular line.
Better pay my tab.
During this short bridge section, almost all of the instrumentation drops out and we're left with one guitar and the lead vocal. The flaws in the singing were particularly noticeable during this part, so I decided to experiment with another plugin. I chose an EQ that I thought would contribute to the song in another way as well, a sort of telephone effect that buries the vocal a bit and draws our attention to the more upfront guitar. I fiddled with the controls until I felt I had achieved both goals simultaneously and made sure to add back the gain that I lost from the EQ cuts. This ensures that although the effect will kick in when the bypass is taken off, the level will remain close to the same.
Something's in the middle, think it's better pay my tab, or you keep it on the blue.
This is one of the most tedious and rewarding tasks in the music making process, like chipping away at a giant block of wood, knowing that the result will be a sculpture both aesthetically pleasing and impressive to the listener. Thanks for watching.